I want to tell you a bit more about the literature review project, which is outlined in the syllabus, but will also have detailed instructions about the different parts as time goes on. So the for the final part of this literature review project, you're going to put together which will involve you posing a research question and then answering the question using 5 peer-reviewed empirical journal articles. In this paper, you'll also write about the research methods used in the papers and provide some praises and critiques of them. And the purpose of this paper is for you to develop skills that will help you both now as a student and also hopefully help you in your professional career. Being able to read and understand research will help you as a practitioner or any sort of field that you go into. So throughout this project, you'll learn skills in academic writing, searching for articles, APA format, and reading and understanding academic articles. And particularly, you can think that other courses you might take might ask you to write a research paper, or perhaps they'll call it a literature review, and you can use those skills from this class. So I understand that writing a 10 to 15 page paper might sound daunting, but that's why the project is broken down into steps. So for this week, I'd like you to start thinking about what your topic will be. And I recommend thinking about first a population that might interest you. Could be an age group, could be a specific group of people, and then think about a problem or an issue that might be faced by those groups, and then kind of put those two together to think about how that could lead to a research question. So for example, maybe you're interested in young children, maybe you're interested in couples, maybe you're interested in inner city youth. So you might ask, how does living in poverty affect adolescents' education? How does divorce impact children in the long term, etc.? So I want to just show you the 3 different steps that are part of this project. So the first step, which I call LR1, and just, excuse me, this is the instructions from a previous semester. But this part 1 involves actually searching for the literature review, so finding 5 articles on your topic, writing up the search process section of your paper, and also practicing paraphrasing and in-text citations using APA format, which we'll go through either next week or the week after. And also, when you identify your 5 articles, you'll identify whether they're quantitative, qualitative, or mixed methods, and provide the abstract and sort of justify why this article is suitable for this project. For part 2 is the literature table. And for this, you'll do the literature table, I'll show you on the next page, and also write the introduction to your paper. And the literature table is basically a sort of specific and detailed notes that you're going to take, a specific way of taking notes on your articles. And this involves really a big focus on the research methods themselves, but also the results as they relate to your own topic, and also looking for some critiques and overall assessment of the article. And these are all skills that we will develop over time. LR1, which I showed you before, is due in week 3. LR2 is due at the end of week 4. And then LR3 is putting the whole paper together. So some of the sections you already have written, other ones you have notes on, and you're going to put the whole thing together. And this is due the last week of class. This is due in week 7. And I will provide you with this detailed instruction, with a rubric, and also some sample papers from previous semesters to help you out with this. So I just want to give you a sense of excuse me, where on the Sakai site you'll be able to find this information. So for one thing, I will remind you about it as we go through the few weeks, so you'll kind of get a heads up. It's also listed in the syllabus in terms of the deadlines. But what is probably most helpful is looking under the Assignments tab, where you'll see the instructions, and that's also where you will actually submit your papers as Word documents. And there's also, I'd like you to submit the file title with your name, and there's instructions about that. And the other thing that'll be helpful is the resources folder, where you might find extra information that might help you with the project, and also that's where I'll post sample papers. So I wanted to give you a heads up now about this, why we're doing this, what skills I hope you learn from this, and then there'll be also reminders throughout the course as we get closer to the different deadlines. And as always, please let me know if you have any questions.